Congratulations. These games are never easy, coming to a lower league team and the snow's coming in. How pleased are you to make it through tonight?
Yeah, of course. We came here with only one task, and that was to win, and we showed that we could battle and also play some good football. So yeah, we're all happy.
Talk about good football, but Pedro Neto, a hat-trick. You set up 2 or 3 of them. I mean, how impressed were you with him?
Yeah, he's an incredible player. He's playing in a position that he's not even used to today, but he just showed his quality. He's an incredible player, and he's really good, and I'm happy for him.
Before we get on to the positives, I have to ask, what on earth happened in the first half where you thought you'd score? What happened?
I swear on my life, I almost ran off. I thought it went in, and then obviously I was waiting for the ref to blow his whistle. Obviously I should have just put it in a second time, but yeah, crazy.
I mean, we had a look, it's like 2 inches, if that, from going over the line.
Yeah, I don't know, it's silly from me, but I thought it went in.
And the goal from the corner as well, did that go all the way? Is that planned? We saw your manager turn around and point to Bernardo Cueva, the set-piece coach. Was that a plan for Neto to go front post and try and get it all the way in?
Yeah, we have our ways of, applying pressure on the corners, and, we've been so close so many times, and, it's always nice to see one going.
And look, after the midweek draw with Leeds, your manager said that you need to stop being sloppy and get a 90-minute performance in. Do you think you got close to that today?
Yeah, of course. I think there's obviously some moments in the game where we do come off it a little bit, but we just need to keep building under Liam, and hopefully we can put them collective performances together and start getting more points.
Oh, well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
Pedro holding the match ball, congratulations. It was your first goal since the last round of the FA Cup. How much did you enjoy it, and how much did you feel you needed that tonight?
I enjoyed a lot, to be honest. I needed a lot this one as well. But first of all, really happy with the team going through the next one.
Can I ask you about your celebration for the first goal, the fingers in the ears? Was that a message to anyone in particular?
Yeah, I'll not tell it, but I'll continue my work. I want to help my teammates and all the fans in the club. So continue the hard work and go to the next one.
You got a hat-trick. It was a hat-trick of assists as well tonight for Liam Delap, coming into the team as well and having a big part to play. How big opportunities are these when you get the chance to come into the team and play together, when you maybe don't play together quite as much as some of you would like to?
I think the most important one is enjoy. I think if we enjoy and we are with the right attitude on the pitch, we give no chances. So this is what we did today. We play really good football against a really tough team, and we are really happy with the win.
You're through as well, lots to compete for, lots still to go this season. How much do you feel you're developing already under the new manager and the ambitions that you have for this season?
Above all, I think in terms of confidence and in terms of going forwards in the match. And like I said, we are really positive mind. We want to continue to work, and winning the next games is really important as well.
Well done tonight. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
When you both watch him with your defender's hat on, where are his greatest strengths? What would cause you the most issues?
Well, I think it's the fact that what we spoke about before, saying with Garnacho, you would go really tight, you'd go really high with him, and then you'd say, right, come on and beat me. He's got pace, so if he just needs to do a straight line running behind, he can do that. But if he does get it to his feet, he's also got the skill, he's got a technique to go at you. But also, he can go on his left foot, he can go on his right foot. So I'm not trying to say that he's got every single club in the bag, but he's got pretty much all of them because he's a very, very competent player.
I think it's his delivery. His delivery is outstanding. I think the way I would try to play him and get really tight and really high up against him. But when he checks back onto his left foot with that delivery, that's really hard to defend that. The line he's supposed to go, and do you drop off a little bit or whatever your game plan is at the time. But with Neto, you just want to see it more consistently now.
It's also the way he dovetails with the players around him. Like today we saw with Esteval, more so than Garnacho. Garnacho pretty much hogged the left, but the way sometimes he'll find himself in the middle, Esteval drifts in, he'll go outside, and all of a sudden he's running on the outside of the wing-back. That's where his strengths lie as well, because as long as he's got somebody else that, if he takes a spot, they can take up his spot. It's a dangerous player in terms of, particularly when you've got Esteval filling his hole in the 10 as well.
OK, let's look at his first goal of the hat-trick then, which was a good layup, not the first time, as we'll see throughout the course of this, a good layup from Liam Delap, but the finish was great.
Yeah, the finish was brilliant. But it was more what I was impressed with, and Kurt mentioned it there, it's his movement. The way he comes towards the ball, drags the midfield out, and then look where he ends up. in that pocket of space there where in between the defenders and the midfielders, and the time it takes to get the touch and the shot. The technique is fantastic, but it's all about the first touch and the timing. 1, 2, and it's in the back of the net. It's absolutely brilliant stuff from Neto there.
And we can be critical of Hull because in this situation they've got a lot of men back but very passive, and when we speak about that movement, his movement was excellent, but they've kind of, the forward line's kind of let him drift into that hole and the back line couldn't quite get out to him, but take nothing away from the finish. Excellent finish into the side net.
The second is straight from a corner, which brings into the whole debate again about how you defend near post corners, because there's nothing spectacular about this, is it? I mean, it's not a brilliantly well worked routine, it's just a well taken near post corner, Mike.
Yeah, but it's the delivery. It's, you know, going to that near post, you've got to be strong in that position. He's even backpedaling there. You've got to go and head the first man in this system has to just go and head it, and if they don't head it, then it just becomes carnage inside the box.
Yeah. My biggest frustration is there's not one single Hull player that wants to go and head the ball. You know, that's the front post, right? I understand that there's bodies and it seems to become... There's nobody that says, I'm going to take responsibility, I'm just going to clear this ball. They kind of think, well, he's jumped, he's missed it, and they're all kind of watching it. And unfortunately, Phillips has no chance.
Are any of them in a position to head that, given the blocks on them and being held?
But you see, some of them are the ones holding.
So forget your man and go
so forget your man. As soon as you see, if you're able to go and head a ball as a centre half, if I see a ball ahead of me, I want to head it, I want to clear it, I want to make sure there's nothing. I'm not worried about what happens behind me. But the moment it comes low and it bounces between, Phillips has got absolutely no chance. Unfortunately, he goes for his legs, but he had no chance with that.
The problem is though, when you go for it, we've been in sometimes that near post. You're thinking about the ball so much, you forget about your man, and you don't want your man to score. Yeah. So it was a little bit of that as well. I think.
You have to trust yourself. Of course, the delivery of the ball was very, very good, but it seemed that they were more interested in wrestling than thinking, right, where is that ball actually going? Even if I do move these players out.
Why is it changed so much? Because I mean, and this, I'm not saying this was happening 30 years ago. You probably go back only 5 years. A man in front of a player on the near post and a man behind him. That was what it used to be, didn't it?
I feel like a dinosaur. I've only been retired 18 months, but I feel like the responsibility now for a defender, they're more worried about what they do with their feet, if I'm being totally honest, more often now.
Right.
So I just feel it's not a natural thing for defenders to want to go and head a ball anymore. And I just honestly think that's kind of a problem. You see here, look how many men around it, and again, they're all hustling and fighting for with players, but nobody actually wants to go and head it. And that
would you leave your man in that situation then and try and be free just to wherever that ball goes to try and win it?
What you want to do is you want to try and free yourself up, not necessarily to go and jump over everyone, but to free yourself up so that you get yourself in a space where, right, there's my man, he's out the way, I'm going to go head this ball, but you've still got aware of him. But again, they were more thinking, I've done my job, he hasn't scored, but actually the actual corner taker scores himself.
Yeah, totally agree. But
the more bodies there are, the more complicated it makes it, doesn't it?
Especially for the goalkeeper, and just that movement. If you're next to me there and you're trying to get out, you know someone's pulling you, so you've got to be nice and strong. You've got to be set, and you've got to focus on the ball and the man. That's where it's becoming very difficult.
Look at the third goal then, which again Liam Delap was instrumental in.
Yeah, I mean, I just think his game tonight was brilliant, and what I liked about it, when Hull set up in this 5, I want you to look at his movement. McCarthy then goes to James, which then leaves that space. A lot of strikers there would still go to feet, but Delap's thinking, can I get into the space? I said in the first half there was a little bit too high, and then now, because the defender went out, he's out of position. Delap does ever so well, and then Esteval's there for a tap-in. But it all comes from Delap's movement. We talk about strikers, everyone wants the ball to feet, but when you can run in behind like that, and the quality of the ball coming to you is very good, then he will create these chances. And this is what he's been yearning for when he's at Ipswich. This is what he was doing week by week, thinking, he's a proper player, but at times, I don't know if he wants to look cute on the ball and come get involved in the ball. João Pedro could do that. This is where he could be successful at Chelsea because he's different. He make them runs in behind.
But the role of being a Chelsea striker in the Premier League compared to an Ipswich striker in the Premier League is totally different. So in terms of those runs, getting in behind are what key. What I did like about it is his composure to do the foot roll, but also the stop-start on John Egan, which gets in the space, does the foot roll, and Esteval scores.
And with great timing, we can hear from him now. Liam Delap is with Ailey.
Liam, congratulations, a big victory tonight, a hat-trick of assists as well. How much did you enjoy being out there tonight and having such a big part to play in the scoreline?
Yeah, of course, it was a really good evening for us, especially being back here as well, because I've got some great memories here. But yeah, it was a good night, and we got the result we wanted.
We'll get it out of the way. The one off the post, talk us through it. What happened?
No, I swear, I almost ran off. I thought it was in, and then obviously I was just stupid in it. Like, I should have just put it in, but these things happen, and I'll learn from it next time.
Yeah, I mean, you kept going, your team and yourself as well, and you got the rewards in the end. What was said at half-time? Because it was a tricky first half, but it seemed so much more comfortable in the second. Yeah,
I think we showed dominance in the first half, but we just didn't put the chances to bed, and in the second half we did. So that was, I think, the difference. You have a lot to play for here at Chelsea this season, through obviously to the next round of the FA Cup as well. In terms of the opportunities that you get on nights like tonight, how important is it that you show what you can do to try and be a big part of what Chelsea can do this season? Yeah, of course, it's massive. I need to keep myself fit and keep in the rhythm, and so does everyone else. The end of the season is going to be really challenging, and I think we're going to need everyone. So it's so important that everyone dials in and everyone focuses when they need to. Is it difficult when you come in and you perhaps are in and out a little bit, number of players around you, it's not the same every time you come in? Obviously you all know each other well, you train together, but in terms of trying to gel quickly in games? No, I think it's always different. There's always so many different reasons why a team's selected, and very rarely it's the same 11. So we're used to it. It's part of football, and you just got to adapt to that. And the best teams show that whoever's playing, you get the job done. How are you finding working under the new boss? Yeah, it's really good. I think, obviously, I've known him from before, and, I think the messages that he's come and brought into the boys, we all buy into it, and, you can see by the results we've been getting that, we're doing well, and hopefully we can just build on it and improve by game. Well done tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Let's just come on to that, because you mentioned it with Pedro Neto as well, the last bit about the regularity of selection, because all players need that, and at the moment it feels like they probably don't get it because of the number of games they're playing, or because Liam Rosenior wants to take a look at them all.
Yeah, it's really difficult, because he first came in, I think it was 4 competitions in 12 days or something, his first few games. So he wants to obviously try and look at these players, but unfortunately he also has to go and win games. He's a Chelsea manager. So it's trying to change them around here and there, trying to rest players knowing that you've got a game in 3 days and here and there. So I think, listen, they're getting slightly frustrated, but he understands that João Pedro, who's
points ahead of Manchester City after that 1-1 draw at Brentford last night. Bigger picture, having looked at the game, is that a point gained or 2 points dropped?
2 points dropped, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. When you look at Arsenal, where they are, where they arrive, and being top of the league and top of the Champions League, and let's face it, the best team in the country right now, based on form and how they play in every single game, their consistency, they're the best team. Or they're the team to beat. Yeah, of course, Liverpool are the champions, and City are City, incredible team. But you have to say that when you play in Brentford and you're Arsenal, and you're top of the league, you should beat Brentford. That's very clear. And when you draw against Brentford and you're trying to win the Premier League title, 2 points lost. So we could be, in a couple of months' time, looking back at that result and thinking, maybe that's where the disruption was. Now, both teams, I think City and Arsenal, I think those two will be the two at the top at the end. But those two, I think, will have some inconsistent results.
Chelsea delivered a spectacular performance as they crushed Hull City 4-0, with Neto scoring a sensational hat-trick that left fans and pundits alike stunned. This match wasn't just about the scoreline, it was a masterclass from Chelsea's attackers, showcasing their precision, creativity, and sheer dominance on the pitch. But what made Neto's performance so special? Why was Hull left completely exposed? And what did Liam Rosenior have to say about the key moments that decided the game? In this video, we break down every angle of Chelsea's triumph. From Neto's deadly finishing to the tactical setup that left Hull struggling to cope, every moment is analyzed in detail. Liam Rosenior provides exclusive insight into the match, highlighting not only the brilliance of Chelsea's attack but also the mistakes Hull made that allowed such a commanding scoreline. His post-match interview reveals things you won't see just by watching the highlights, including subtle tactical nuances and player decisions that influenced the outcome.